Good afternoon. John, to your point about why Russ wasn't more well known, the next, I'm going to be reading 3 letters from folks from around the world, and I think the thing is really his impact is incredible in terms of when you hear the letters. One is from Russia, one is from South Africa, the other one's from Bulgaria. So we'll go through these and give you a sense of that. The first is from Felix Tarasenko, the Dean of Faculty and Professor, Department of Public and Business Administration, Tomsk State University, Tomsk, Russia. So Felix writes, today, on what would have been the 91st birthday of our dear Russell Ackoff, all who knew him no doubt feel especially sad. Russ was truly one of the great men of the last century, thanks largely to his breakthroughs in systems thinking and systems practice. His achievements in these fields have exerted a global influence. In fact, since all human activity involves problem solving, it is impossible to overestimate the significance and large scale of Russ's work. The name Russell L. Ackoff is well known here in Russia. More than 20 of his books have been translated and published in Russian, including his 4 recent books, Recreating the Corporation, Idealized Design, Management Flaws, and Turning Learning Right Side Up. I began to translate his works in 1980 with materials of the Roundtable Art and Science of Systems Practice, conducted by him at the International Institute of Applied Systems Analysis in Austria. Russ proved helpful in our country in other ways. For example, when I suggested that he help Gorbachev solve a problem, he agreed without hesitation. Also, in the Siberian University town of Tomsk, when a group of specialists was designing a regional computer-aided decision support system, works by Russ and his colleagues proved extremely helpful. In 1993, Russ was elected as a foreign member of the Russian Academy of Natural Sciences, and he made sure the Tomsk Center became an educational institution. Lectures based mainly on Russ's results have been delivered to a variety of Russian professionals, including physicists, biologists, lawyers, historians, and CEOs, all in need of systemic technologies. This led in 2007 to the establishment of the Ackoff program at Tomsk University. In addition, Russ promoted the idea to start a new journal about systems thinking, Problems of Governance. It is a pity that, while Russ sent in a few articles, he did not see its debut. However, we keep in contact with colleagues in organizational dynamics at the University of Pennsylvania and have plans to complete a joint project on solving serious, real-life problems. So that, I've also heard the comments about, well, how come systems thinking is not in these universities, but it is, and you'll see that again in these other examples. Here now in South Africa. And this is Professor Roy Marcus, Da Vinci Institute for Technology Management, and Ackoff Center for Design Thinking, Johannesburg, South Africa. So here he goes. Our thoughts are with you in this auspicious occasion when we reflect upon the profound impact the wisdom of our dear friend and colleague Russ Ackoff has had on our persona, and perhaps more importantly, on the wide spectrum of organizations who, by virtue of this wisdom, have been able to make a meaningful contribution to their stakeholders. The decision by the Da Vinci Institute for Technology Management, which offers certificate, diploma, master's, and PhD programs in the management of technology and innovation in South Africa, to establish the Ackoff Center for Design Thinking, puts into perspective the impact which this generous man has had on so many people in South Africa. Since 1995, we have been teaching systems thinking the Ackoff way. Now, any person registered for a Da Vinci program is required to complete a systems thinking course as a mandatory part of their qualification requirements. So we live the name of Russ Ackoff almost every day. Now he talks about Nelson Mandela. The birth of the new South Africa was heralded by a person whom we admired and loved. Those of us who were privileged to work with Nelson Mandela saw the Ackoff way of systems thinking in action. Nelson Mandela's philosophies and actions were steeped in his appreciation of having to appease both the left of the left and the right of the right of the political spectrum. This he achieved to the utter amazement of the world. The bloodless transition was, in our opinion, due to this great leader being able to elevate himself beyond the political rhetoric and to look at all the people and recognize their fears and aspirations. He recognized the mess and identified the building blocks for the new South African system. Even during his long years of imprisonment, he played a masterful act by continuously looking at the system. And now, as South Africa grapples with some of the thorny issues of the transformation process, the concept of design thinking poses a great promise to the country in its attempts to navigate through the world of growing complexity. The Ackoff Center for Design Thinking has positioned itself as an agent for change in which those critical fundamental thought processes, unraveled by Russ, are being used to create a new mindset and to develop a new future based on an idealized design. This design will be co-developed by stakeholders in both the private and public sector organizations in our country. In our first foray, with the support of Johnny Portnod, we've been able to demonstrate the power of the design thinking process. So like all of you gathered here today, we will pay tribute to the great man for giving so many of us an opportunity to take a different perspective on life, and through this to have gained much satisfaction. Satisfaction in seeing postgraduate students using the process in their place of work, satisfaction in being able to assist troubled organizations find a way out of complex problems, satisfaction in being part of the solution rather than part of the problem. Dear Russ, we salute for all you meant to us. May you rest in peace. Great letter. And as I'm looking around, I have two conversations with people from South America, which I don't think we have letters from them, but it's just amazing. There's just the impact and what's going on with all these students. Now I'll tell you, the last letter is from Bulgaria, and here they have a new master's program that they've created. So this is Professor Yuri Alkali, former Dean of School of Management, head of the Masters of Management for Organizational Excellence, the new Bulgarian University, Sofia, Bulgaria. As a result of Bulgaria's entry into the European Union in 2007, the new Bulgarian University had to redesign its Masters in Management program to make it compatible with the requirements for organizational excellence set by the European Foundation for Quality Management. Our new Masters in Management for Organizational Excellence is greatly influenced by the works of Professor Ackoff. Specifically, in the first semester, Changing the Mindset, the first module for students is Systems Thinking, which is based almost entirely on Ackoff's concepts concerning the behavior of social systems. In the second semester is Organizational Architecture, which again includes the system concepts developed by Professor Ackoff, including the importance of systems design. In the fourth semester is a special course concerning Design of Systems, which follows Ackoff's ideas about idealized design. Our new master's program has been very successful, not merely for its application of excellence concepts, but as evidenced by the EU's decision to immediately accredit it. Dr. Ackoff's work is very well known and popular in Europe. Many of his books have been translated and are used as course material in European universities. We at the new Bulgarian University, who know him and rely on his work, will miss him greatly, but his influence on students, scholarship, and application to management will remain for many generations to come. Thank you.